Right, so we have a Champions League match here against Real Madrid, and you know what? In the year 2036, they are still holding on to Jude Bellingham, Camavinga, and Vinicius, which totals up a pretty scary team when you think about it. They've also got Antonio Silva, a highly regarded centre-back there. So this is Tiny Salgueiros playing mighty Real Madrid at home. Now, we fell behind after 20 minutes through Vinicius. But after 65 minutes, we got a deserved equaliser, and I can't emphasise deserved enough, from our Brazilian João Pedro. 72 minutes gone. Brian, Brazilian number 3, involved in this match with the giveaway, Madrid score. But check out these match stats, folks. We absolutely murdered them. I do believe that's what the kids called getting FM'd, right? 2 shots from Madrid, 2 goals, we lose 2-1. At this early stage of the season, our 3 games have brought on 2 defeats because we also lost away to Barcelona, so we're stuck down in 19th in the Champions League. So we've zoomed forward now, we're into January. In fact, let me show you the league. There it is, we're sat top. We have not been defeated yet in January. 15 matches, 12 wins, 3 draws. We're not clear because there's still some teams doing well, but interestingly enough, it's not Benfica and it's not Porto. They're lagging a bit. Well, Porto, that's their new role, mid-table. So the team's going really well, same formation. Now, the problem we had with those defensive midfielders, it's kind of been solved by the players we had. I'm warming to them. So Idrisu's a beast. He's an absolute beast. He's 6'5", 88 kg, and just an absolute physical presence in there. And after a slow start, he's settled in. Our midfielder from Thailand, Sarakam, we've had him a while now. He used to play in the more defensive role, but flourishing in the more aggressive of the 2 DM roles. And what I mean by this, yes, they're both defensive midfielders on support, but if you look at Idrisu, the more defensive of the 2, he holds his position and nothing else, whereas the other defensive midfield role takes more risks and gets further forward. So this is a more expressive role of the 2. And since moving Sarakam over to this one, he's really flourished. If you look at his previous seasons, here and here, they were in the more defensive role, whereas this season, 7.28, so he's enjoying it. Now in the Champions League, we've had a bit of a mixed time. We absolutely murdered Salzburg 5-0, but then got murdered ourselves by Villarreal. Then we had a game against Bayern at home, one of the big boys. Finished 3-4. Match stats tell us that we should have got something out of that one as well. Bit of a recurring theme. Right, so overall, going well. Super Cup's in the bag. Semis of the Alliance Cup. 5th round of the TATO de Portugal. Top of the league, but the slight concern is the Champions League. We need to sort that out because at the minute we're lagging off a bit. Now I'm going to show you this hidden advice button that was completely oblivious to me. I've never really took notice of it. So if we go to Trisovsky there, and up here pops new advice available. So it's that little round dot with a number by it. I have never even looked at this, but I used it recently for João Pedro and it was quite useful. If you have a look at it here, it'll tell you little tips from your coaches what to do for each player. Click on them and honestly some of them you will use. For example, they've recommended some individual training to start. Could do with individual attacking movement training to help improve some minor off the ball movement, anticipation and decision weaknesses. And when you look at it, his ratings are 13, 12 and 12 and this is a wonder kid, so it's not a bad one to do that. So I will take that on board. And there you can see we've started the training. Set up player trait training for Trisovsky. Strongly recommended. Bang, let's start doing it. So that's in. It'll do other ones as well. Some of them you can do, some of them you won't. Like I don't like changing the squad status. I think you're just asking for trouble, so I'll leave that. But some of them are really good. Pozo here. Now he used to be a centre back, so I've got him doing different stuff for his individual training, and I kind of forgot that since moving him to full back, I could probably refocus, and this has helped me remind myself. Set up individual training for ball control, so yeah, we'll do that. So he starts doing that straight away. And if you're a bit unsure on traits and when to start them or what to look for, this is going to throw some up for you as well. It's asking me to chuck one in for Sarakam here to knock a ball past his opponent. Whether you take it or not, it's up to you, but it'll give you a little nudge to have a little look. So good news, after listening to your guys' comments in the last video, I'm wondering why my transfer revenue was so pathetic. I went and moaned at the board and they've now upped it from 25% to 40%. Not ideal, but a hell of a lot better. So we'll do that again in a couple of months' time and try and get it up. Like I said, we are in January and that's going to bring in some more of our beautiful, beautiful transfer problems. Pedro's been insanely good and now PSG are having a look at him. Now PSG, with all that money, it's not what you want to see. And they're in a long list of clubs that are after him. So the deadline is officially open and that's going to bring some problems here because I would say 90% maybe of our starting 11, and then the first choice reserves are all wanted by various clubs from around the world. Didn't take long, did it? January's open and they're already after Vlad. Transfer offers coming in. We're going to reject those, but it's going to be a long month. Even worse, the Saudis are now coming in as well. Premier League are looking after Trusovski and Jurovic, our keeper, and here comes Leipzig in for João Pedro. Absolutely no chance. So remember what I said about wanting to make Vegas and João Pedro our Ronaldinho and Ronaldo with that sort of link-up? How about this? They're picking each other out all the time. The Champions League went a little bit close for my comfort, but we did get through. We finished in 15th with 12 points. Won 4, lost 4. So work to do, but we're through. Transfer-wise, at the 28th of January, despite a load of bids, we've kept hold of everyone so far. No one's hit the asking price. But João Pedro has some big teams after him now. Man United, PSG, Dortmund and Brentford. But so many clubs after our players. The goalkeeper wanted by Villa, Newcastle, Real Madrid. Pozo now wanted by Bayern Munich. Vlad, Villa, Brighton, Chelsea, Tottenham. It's ridiculous. In the league, it was time to play Porto. I know what you're thinking, but this time they actually beat us. That was our first defeat of the season in the league. I was getting a bit worried, but thankfully in the biggest game of the season against Benfica, we got the job done in a classic. So how about that Champions League? In the first game we won 2-0, pretty comfy away from home. In the home game it was plain sailing. Team played really well, and there's this link up with them front three again. João Pedro just doing Pedro things. This could be a mixed blessing though, because the more he scores in the Champions League, the more big teams are going to want him. His hat-trick gave us a 3-0 win and 5-0 overall win to the last 16. This is the state of play as we go into March. We got knocked out of the Alliance Cup by Benfica. Bit disappointing, but we're playing too many matches and now our squad size is so small. It's not the worst thing in the world. We're in the semi-finals of the TATO, trying to retain that against Boa Vista. We've got the Real Madrid game coming up next, and we're still top of the league with that one defeat, and we do have a game in hand. And Benfica and Porto, they're way out of it. It's now Formacio and Braga that are our main rivals. So the first game is at home and we need to get a lead here to take to the Bernabeu. If you look at their team, Camavinga, Vinicius, Bellingham, like the game we played against them last time, are still there. They play 4-3-3 with 2 inverted wing backs, but I'm not going to stray from what I've been doing with opposition instructions. I'm doing that. The one thing I might do though, if you look at Peter O'Driscoll, their centre back, I mean he's really good, but first touch of 9, technique of 9. So for this home game, we're going to trigger a press on his ass because he might be the one who gives the ball away. We have got a massive blow because Tripovski here is injured for 3 weeks, so he misses the match. We don't have a direct replacement for him. Rodrigo can't last a full match. So for this game, we will push that position up to there and Gabriel Silva can go in there like that. It's even more aggressive than a more aggressive tactic anyway. It's worth the risk. We need a lead. We need a lead from this home game. So 1-1 against Madrid, slightly disappointing, but we're not out of it yet. But I do want to show you this assist from Rodrigo and just to focus on him a little bit. Remember, he's 36, so he's down the right-hand side here, and he's going to pick out João Pedro in the box there. But, I mean, just look how he does it. Ready? Bring that back. How sweet was that? Now, this is why he shouldn't be put off by players of an age. He's 36, but he can do things like that. And if you look at his contribution this season, we've used him a rake off the bench, but 10 appearances, 16 off the bench, 3 goals, 10 assists. 10. Nice. Right, Real Madrid, leg 2. Here we go.